Alright, listen. The thoughts and opinions expressed on the Stay Down LA podcast belong to me, K Stacks to P, and maybe whoever else got the nerve to pull up. This ain't for overly sensitive, overly serious, or anybody looking to be offended on purpose. If you're mad, you might want to log off now. For everybody else, welcome to the Stay Down LA podcast. Let's talk our shit. What up? It's your boy K Stacks to P, and welcome back to another podcast episode. If this is your first time to the Stay Down LA podcast, welcome. Welcome all. Welcome young. Welcome old. Welcome medium age. Middle age. All ages are all welcome. All genders are all welcome. And all races are all welcome. You know. This is episode 51 of the Stay Down LA podcast. And I am very proud to say that we are one episode away from the 52 episodes. And I realized, I guess technically speaking, by 52, that wouldn't be 1 year of episodes. That would just, I don't know. We're not going to worry about that right now. But we are now on episode 51. So thank you guys for joining me. Thank you all to the listeners. Thank you to anybody that's listening. And appreciate you guys for listening where you guys are listening at. To my listeners and to my viewers. Excuse me. This is brought to you by Stay Down Network. That is my brand and basically the hub of what Stay Down LA really is. So it's a Stay Down LA network, Stay Down brand, anything Stay Down, or K-Stacks you see, they go one in hand. So of course, cause you might see Stay Down other places, but till of course I get it trademarked and everything and I make it really legally my own, Stay Down LA network and Stay Down LA fitness, Stay Down LA everything, anything Stay Down LA, that's all me. And then it's just something that I created. And, who am I to even create something like that? Well, my name is K Stacks or K Stacks to P. I am a artist that makes content, streams, and as well as podcasts, And podcasting wasn't something that I always did. I mainly focused on just making music and streaming on Twitch whenever I would just, get the chance to. But once I came back from this trip to Nigeria that I took one time, something just clicked in me to make me want to do podcasting. So that's who I am and like a little bit of background about me. But if you want an in-depth, review or explanation on of it, I always recommend to go to episode 1. Because sometimes I know that, when you find this podcast, it might recommend the most recent episode. But I always recommend each episode. I don't care how many episodes it's going to be. We're going to be on episode 200. I'm going to still be saying it. Check out episode 1 first if you want the in-depth, because by episode 200, I'm expecting people that's listening by then, they already been listening by here, you know what I mean? And yes, with Allah's grace, we will make it to episode 200. Amen. So, now that we got that out the way, I'm going to do a prayer. I usually start my podcast episodes with a prayer, as I am Muslim. It's just, it's just something that I do. What the heck is that? Sorry guys, I seen a pit of like a fruit or something, and if you guys know me, I don't eat fruit, so seeing that was just kind of like, it was a little scary, I'm not gonna lie. But let's get started. I was Sublashi to the Dream, Islam on him, and I'm the liability, I'm on him. Molly Kiyomadini, Yakana, but I Yakanaslim, eating us in the Muslim, Shatan, and telling again, we do know that, darling. Amen. Allah, I want to say thank you so much for allowing me to be awake today, for allowing me another day, for allowing me another opportunity, and allowing me another chance to make another podcast episode. I want to say thank you so much for, how far that you have brought me so far, and how far that you are continuing and going to let me go. And I just want to say I'm so grateful for everything that you have done for me, everything that you will continue to do for me, and everything that you do for everyone that is around me. I pray and I ask that you please cover and bless those that are also coming to this podcast, that are also listening to this podcast, or anybody that interacts with any type of Stay Down LA content or any type of content with me. I want to say a great big thank you, but overall I want to just ask for coverage and protection. Allah, as that you continue to allow the people that have passed on to continue to watch over me and protect me. Big shout out to my grandmas, Latif's mom, Auntie Busse, Latif himself, Elliot, Kalila, as that you guys continue to watch over me, continue to protect me, and to continue to guide me from beyond. And as that the blessings that I ask for myself to be passed on to people that I love and that I don't mention by name, that I know are within my heart. Inshallah, mashallah, Allah, thank you. Alright, now that we got the prayer out the way, let's get into some of these topics. So, if this is your first time to this podcast, I usually start with a weekly recap. It's kind of self-explanatory, but of course I will explain. The weekly recap is basically when I give you guys like details into each day from, the last podcast episode. So, depending on, what I do. Usually I do it from Thursday to Thursday. So, it's generally from Friday to Thursday. So, we just go from there, recap it like that. And I tell you guys anything interesting happened, anything funny, stuff like that. Then I go through some topics, or I go into some movies that I've seen. I ain't gonna lie, spoiler alert, I didn't see none of the movies last week. But it's not really a loss, as it was nothing that I feel like was too crazy for me to miss out on. But it is just unlike me to not see no movies at all. So I will say that was like interesting to be like going through that week. And then after that, I'll talk about any other TV shows, any other form of media that I'm taking in. Pause. And then we're going to get into some stuff that I see on Instagram, because I always be finding things on Instagram, random things, random topics, random things that's going viral, AI, business, just trending viral moments. And we just talk about it on here, and I give you guys my opinion. Everything on here is generally from my opinion and my perspective. So if you don't fuck with that, the door is to the left, because, hey, it's really all about me and everybody that's around me. You feel me? So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, starting with Friday. Friday was Juneteenth. So, on Juneteenth, I did a run with my run club, the Keep It 100 Run Club, and I pretty much just woke up and I just knew that that was basically going to be the plan for the day. So I woke up and I had already been talking to my homegirl Mariah, so big shout out to Mariah, because we had ran together on this run. I had already been talking to her about it, and pretty much, I think I'll even do myself one better. Let's just go to the journal, so that way I could give like a more in-depth play-by-play. So I woke up around 6 something, you know what I'm saying? Usually I wake up pretty early, and so that's nothing too surprising for me, I usually start with my affirmations, each day, so that's gonna be definitely a common theme. I'm probably not gonna say it each time, so just know that I do that each day, but I'm probably gonna say which time I wake up. So around 8, I kind of was on my way to the run. I ain't gonna lie, it was busy. It was in the of course, so you guys are probably asking, where was the run at, Caduce? The run was in the Crenshaw area, the Crenshaw district, kind of adjacent from the Marathon clothing store. Yeah, so I think that's what it's called. So the Marathon store, and coincidentally, the Marathon burger was there. I can't wait to tell you guys about that. So yeah, so it's adjacent from the Marathon store, so it's not too far from me. It's on Slauson and Crenshaw, basically. So yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I don't want to sound ignorant, you know what I'm saying? My bad, y'all. I really like to be specific about the stuff that I've been talking about. So, Slauson. And, let me see, you guys. Hope you guys are having a good day so far. Yeah, exactly. I know what I be talking about. So, yeah. It is the Slauson and Crenshaw. So, it was over there. And pretty much once I got there, of course, not of course, but the way it was set up is they had Crenshaw blocked off, because that's where the start and the end of the run was, and then the check-in area, they had also where the vendors were going to be. So basically it's police officers, vendors, check-in. To the right is a parking lot where the actual, I guess, start of the event and the introduction of it, the shirt giveaways, everything, that's where that was done at. They had a stage where my guy Butter was up there talking. They also had another gentleman that spoke. I forgot his name, but he was very important as well. And then he spoke, and then of course the sign that represented the start and the finish line. So that's the setup. So that was where Crenshaw was basically on Slauson on that first side. So it was blocked off. So I basically pull up on the other side of the street, and I found a nice parking spot. I ain't gonna lie, I got blessed with a nice spot because as soon as I parked, it got super duper packed. It got super duper busy. So I park, and then I basically hit up Mariah, basically let her know that I made it, and then she lets me know that she is basically on the way and she's close by. So I naturally put on my shoes. Normally when I go do my runs, you know what I'm saying, I'm usually very content heavy, very ready to like, you know, record everything. But I didn't know the setup, and I didn't know like how early I needed to be. So part of me was like, let me just get there first before I start trying to like get any videos or like any footage. So I didn't get anything of me just like parking or doing my usual slipper to shoe transition. But I put on my shoes, made sure my water was ready. And at first, I'm not gonna lie, I was gonna bring my speaker. A part of me has been wanting to, because normally when I run with my beats. So I run with my headphones and everything. And man, where are my manners? I forgot to light up something for y'all. So today's smell of the day, today's incense of the day is Sex on the Beach. Sex on the Beach. A big shout out to the Taj Mahal, as that's where I get all my incense. And big shout out to my bestie. Oh yeah. Surprise, surprise, guys. Well, I don't know if I can even talk about her on here because she's talking about I gotta pay for it. But me and bestie, we talked it out, y'all. Me and Adria, we had a deep talk to talk, heart to heart, where we both expressed where we felt wronged and, you know, where we could improve, and we decided to be best friends again. But we're probably not best friends again, but we decided to be cool again, you know, because naturally you gotta work your way back up to that. I'm not gonna like sit here and just act like everything's gonna be the same how it used to be, but it's definitely nice to hear from her. And it's just definitely nice because overall, like I said, that situation changed me for the better. I will not lie. I feel like it made me a little bit more understanding of like, or I guess more realizing in a sense of where I could also do or cause harm to people. Sometimes I'll be thinking I do no wrong. So it just let me know in that situation. I'm like, no, you know, sometimes people interpret how your behavior and it hurts their feelings, you know? And you gotta just be willing to take that. Pause. So, back to the tax at hand. So, after I parked and I started walking in, I basically got up there, and there was, of course, you know, naturally, this thing is packed. Butter had already said, on his, like, on the, I'm recording, mama. I'm recording. You okay? Yeah. I went to work today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
After.
Oh, you thought? Oh, that's why you were saying that. Yeah, I went to work today. Yeah, I just got back not too long ago. He was sleeping in my room at first. Had to kick his butt out. Shout out to my mom. That was my mom, you guys. She thought I didn't go to work today, but I did go to work. She's funny. She's like, yeah, I don't know your schedule, so I don't be knowing, like, does he go to work today or does he not? Like, is everything okay? Because she just be worried about stuff. If you guys know, if you know, you know. You know, something really silly happened to me with the law. So we just kind of just waiting on, like, the results of that. And because of that, it's kind of just had us a little, like, paranoid. My mom especially, she just been, like, extra worried. Like, when she don't hear from me for a while now, she just be like, damn, I hope everything cool. Like, nothing happened. Like that situation, I hope there's no follow-up from that. And that's why he's not communicating and shit. So. But like I said, we praying. I'm praying especially that everything's going to be okay. And it will. Regardless of what happens, everything's going to be okay at the end of the day. So, you feel me? man, and this is, I ain't gonna lie, this run is actually interesting too. Speaking of work, so dang, I hope they don't see this. That's why I gotta really be like, you know, about what I say sometimes. But at the end of the day, the time has passed, you know, and I did communicate. You feel me? So it wasn't nothing crazy. But essentially, what I was saying is I get to the run, I get in line, and there's a long line. There's like 3 of them, and people are like stacking in it. But the line I'm in, this such a nice queen. She has an iPad with her, and she's basically like checking in people halfway through the line to kind of like try to make it quicker. So I just so happen to be in that line, so I kind of get in checked in kind of fast. So once I check in, I instantly go inside. You know, once I'm inside, and I got my wristband. Yep, you feel me? You can't get in without a wristband. I actually have a wristband, so I don't want to hear it. So once I got my wristband, I then made my way inside, and now at this point, now I feel comfortable enough to start recording. So I start recording, getting my footage, and I started looking around. You know, normally, I ain't gonna lie, this is very out of character for me, because normally I usually just kind of like stay in the area that's like not really a lot of people are at. I kind of just stand off to the side, but I decided, you know, I'll kind of get in the mix, and I'll kind of like just try to like, I wasn't gonna mingle because I was still too nervous to really speak to people, but I was like, you know, I'll kind of like get in the mix and like, you know, at least walk around a little more, you know what I'm saying? So I got in there, and luckily I did that, because when I got in there, I happened to see where they were giving the shirts, and I have the shirt. It might be in the laundry, because I ain't gonna lie. When I wore it, I got done for in that shirt. I ain't gonna lie. I landscaped in it, so you know me when I landscape. Oh, I think I probably already knowing my laundry schedule. It's probably already washed. Yep. Wait, what the money? Okay, this is actually a interesting development. It's looking like I can't find the shirt. That means it has to be in the laundry then. Sorry guys, don't mean to embarrass myself. But yeah. So I get in there, and then I look, and I see that there's the shirt area, and it's a nice, yes, because I'm like, the shirt's really nice. I really want to show you guys. Sorry, I could describe it. It's like kind of like a bib, and it says 2026, says Juneteenth, you know, and all that good stuff. Got it right now. I got it right here. Oh my gosh, my ear was itchy. Sorry about that, guys. So, as you guys can see, it's black, my favorite color. So you know I already love the base of the shirt already. It could have been just a black tee, and I would have been happy as hell. But it says Juneteenth in yellow on the top, and it has like a bib. It says Run, Nike Run, 2026, Circulate, Keep It 100 with their you know, emblem, their known like scratch, and then a like sticker or runner, and like one of their emblems, and basically like what you call it? What is it called? Known areas in the Crenshaw district. I guess that's what you should say. Like it has Culver City, Baldwin Hills, Crenshaw Plaza, the 405 freeway. Like it's like a freeway or like a map, and then it says the museum. What looks like to me the Strava symbol, South Los Angeles, Crenshaw district, Fairview Heights Station. You know, it's really dope. So big shout out, and then it was free, so you know I'm even more grateful. You know what I'm saying? So big shout out to my run club, Keep It 100. You feel me? So you know me, I don't be liking to, when I get shirts like this, or when I just get them, I don't like to just sweat in them. So naturally, I wasn't changing into it, but everybody was wearing their shirt, and it made me feel like, dang, am I supposed to be wearing my shirt right now? But quite literally, after I got the shirt and I got some stickers, because they had some cool ass stickers, Raya had hit me and let me know that she had made it. So I pretty much connected up with her, or you know, told her where the shirts were, so that way she'd get her shirt as well. After she got her shirt, That's what I'm saying. Mariah, she's so quick on her feet. She was like, "Yeah, let's take some pictures." So big shout out to her because honestly speaking, I probably would have forgot to even like mention do we take some pictures, but we took some really nice pictures. Had somebody take some pictures for us, and it's so funny because they were like super nervous. Like this guy, like no offense, no, I'm not tripping on him or like trying to diss him. It was just I'm like, I guess it's not very often you see someone really like shake when they're doing something. So I really not in that way, type stuff. But he was just like, I could just tell like he was like nervous. I was like, oh wow. But Mariah's teeth was just looking really, really nice. So she got the Invisalign. So she gave me even more like hope/encouragement to want to get them. Bro, these mosquitoes done got me, and I'm just surprised as to how. Because for the most part, I've been covered and like protected with my clothes. These mosquitoes somehow, some way, still be biting your boy. But nah, so Mariah. I mean, I gotta describe her fit. That'd be kind of weird. But she was looking really nice, and then pretty much, then they were dancing. You know what I'm saying? They had music playing. They had a nice DJ. It's vibes. Like I said, it's a Keep It 100 group, and then it's of course, Nike Run as well. So, with both, it's basically both, basically both things collaborating, doing their thing, and then of course they doing introductions, and it was so funny because that's what I'm saying. They're so funny. Like, hey, with all the people that was there, because one thing about the Keep It 100 Run Club, we always stretch before our runs and pray. Even with all the people there, they still did that. They still made sure that we stretched, did our thing, and then we prayed, and then we lined up, and then I thought, silly me, I thought I was being smart, right? So I was like, usually when I go to the runs, I usually start last. I usually like let everybody run in the front, and then I like to like, I guess why do I do that? Because I feel like all the people that want to burn out quick and run really fast, they take off first. So by running last, it allows me to essentially pass all of that or not have to deal with all that, and then all the people that get gassed out or don't run anymore, I can easily pass them because by the time I catch up to them, or by the time I catch up to them, because I'm running the whole time, they've already started to walk, so it's just easy to pass them, and I feel like it just clears up easily. For some reason, it didn't work in this situation. Like I tend to do that with the run, and instead I kind of feel like I got in the most congested area, you know what I mean? So ultimately though, I don't think it like overly negatively, I don't think it was a big negative. I don't think it had that much of a impact on the run overall, because I think I still did a really good job, and I still, in my opinion, caught up really quickly, because I'm not going to sit here and say I passed anybody. I don't want to sit here and be on some rude stuff. When it comes to my Keep It 100 runs, I feel like with their runs, they make it really like, at least for me, that's how I interpret it, because I ain't gonna lie, there's still niggas out there that be fucking flying. Them niggas be running fast as fuck. But I feel like whenever it's runs like this, that's like for a cause. I feel like when I did the Mother's Day run, when we did the Mother's Day 5K, I feel like that day, I ain't gonna lie, was that the day I was busting? One of these, I think that was the day I was busting. I'm pretty sure that was the day I was busting. But because I was busting that day, bro, when I say I was like, I could have ran like I don't really run that fast, but I could have ran a really good pace that day. But once I seen, like, and I just remember what the cause was, I was like, nah, that'll make sense too. So with this one, I don't really like to say, okay, I'm running really past people and doing that, because it's for Juneteenth, so it's not really about being fast, So I did it in 3 miles, 27 minutes, 14 seconds, and a 9-minute, 4-second pace. You know what I'm saying? Average heart rate, 168 beats per minute. So, you know what I'm saying? It was really nice, really good run. And then overall, I did my thing, you know what I'm saying? Ran with Mariah for a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And then, once the run was finished, or once I was finished with the run, because I finished a little, because basically, once I was finished with the run, I basically just let Mariah know to let me know when she's done with the run. So when she was done with the run, she hit me up, and then we reconnected again So then after that, that's when they had all the food and everything set up, and they were basically like celebrating and dancing. The Keep It 100 family is really like it's really not just a run club. It's really like a party, low key. Like it was turned. But then again, it is Juneteenth, so and it was just so funny because the irony of that day was, I guess you weren't supposed to go to work if you were black, but I'm sorry, y'all. I just got this job, so I didn't get it off in time. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully. So sadly, I not sadly, but I went to work, and I thought it was just so funny because I was hearing a whole bunch of jokes about it later on the next day. Like, oh, like you went to work? You're not supposed to go to work? And I was like, oh, nobody gave me the memo. Shit. Respectfully. But after that, naturally, I'm me, y'all. Y'all know me. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Of all the vendors that I seen, the only one that looked familiar was the Marathon Burger. I've been there enough to be like, okay, cool, I can fuck with this food. So I decided to get it, and then they only had the Marathon Burger. You feel me? Which makes sense in a situation like this. Don't bring a whole menu. You gotta be tactical. You feel me? You gotta be realistic. Do you want to struggle and have to make a whole bunch of different type of burgers and have a whole bunch of different type of ingredients? And that's what I'm saying. Like running a restaurant and like handling on that business is really a lot. Like when you think about it, let's break it down. You gotta get all the stuff basically pre-prepped, and then manage to because basically that's what they had to do. Like we've seen them setting up, right? And that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I'm not trying to sit here and like diss anybody because that's not my intention. I'm just saying what happened, So take this with realisticness. Don't take this with me trying to be funny or nothing. I'm just saying like I don't know if their timing was a different timing than everybody else's timing, because by the time we were finished with the run, I'll just put it like this: the event was pretty much over, and they still was kind of setting up. You know what I mean? And I was just like, dang, like all right. But it was just really cool to see because I'm like, this is what goes behind a restaurant. This is what goes behind like setting up in a situation like this. Like clearly. I ain't gonna lie, like it was very obvious. It got some really fresh ingredients, you know what I'm saying? So all that stuff took some time to set up, and all that stuff took some time to prepare to make sure that like, hey, we can have this, especially because like I said, they kind of just making the same burger the whole time. They probably want to do it like, hey, let's have 10, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how many they trying to do, but they want to basically maximize the production rate, which was commendable, and I respected it. It was just kind of like a little looking for me because I was like, dang, I kind of gotta go, you know what I'm saying? Because me, once I finish the runs, I'll be quick to go home, I'll be quick to just go about my day. But I was like, you know what, I'm gonna hang out and I'm actually indulge in something here. I honestly wasn't even gonna eat for real, and if I was, I probably was gonna get some IHOP or something breakfasty, you know what I'm saying, something more breakfasty. But I was like, you know what, the Marathon Burger, I'll indulge, I'll get something. And I don't know why I thought you could only get one burger. It was so funny because like when they do open, you know what I'm saying, and we kind of start taking our orders, man, chaos ensues. So you would think that now I could kind of diss the patrons. I'm not going to diss the company. I'm going to diss the patrons because the patrons kind of diss some head ass shit. Like I said, the company, because I don't want somebody to be like, oh, wow, you're going to protect the company. They're not going to protect the customers. You're a customer too. You guys are right. I am a consumer, so you're right. Like I said, the business was head ass for being late. Y'all was like, you know what I'm saying? I was ready to eat and y'all wasn't ready to cook. You feel me? It is what it is, But like I said, I don't know the situation, so that's why I'm not trying to like go too hard. But what I did see in the situation that I did witness was the freaking. I'm not gonna give too much detail because they fuck around, listen to this, and find my ass. They were freaking. I'm gonna just call them, triple double, triple trouble, you know what I'm saying? Or it was really like 6 of them, you know what I'm saying? But it was just this group, and like, I don't know if they, I'm assuming they were either they couldn't have been on their break. Because in my opinion, I only get 45-minute lunches, and getting food on time is such a crucial part of my lunch now. Whereas I feel like, man, I used to be able to get my food ready first and then eat and then go on my lunch. Now I feel like I have to do both, man. It's been kind of tough, but it lets me know that, like, yeah, I don't know how people be going and then just now putting in their orders. Like, I be trying to calculate, like, when am I taking my lunch? Okay, let me do this pickup order to be on time for your boy. Because I got to calculate me going to get it, and it's just a lot. So I'll just be like, dang. So I know they couldn't have been on their break. And if they were, they for sure took an extended break. Because, like I said, They were there waiting for us, and we were there waiting. They told us it was gonna be a 30-minute wait. By the time me and Mariah were waiting in line and kind of getting like, okay, like, yo, it's been 30 minutes. Someone in the line said they told us an hour. So if they told you an hour and told me a 30 minutes, that means it's clearly gonna be an hour 30 minutes. Or I don't know how that calculation works, but clearly it's an hour longer from the 30 minutes they told me. Is basically what I'm saying. So that made it an hour 30 minutes. So I'm like, damn, what the hell? But the point, we in such a good spot in the line, it's too hard to give up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm with Mariah. You know what I'm saying? We talking, we vibing. So it's all good vibes. We talking about runs. We talking about running shoes. We talking about running styles. You know what I'm saying? And like, oh, like, do you run on your toes? You run on your heels? And like, you know what I'm saying? We just having a good conversation. Like, I love Mariah. I love Bahati. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really an homegirl for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you, man, you want to learn about cybersecurity, tap in with my sis. You feel me? So, essentially, like I said, by this time, I done memorized the menu. There's not much going on it, so I'm saying that to say that, you know me, I don't like pickles. So once I seen it's just a burger and it has pickles, just get no pickles, I could take everything else. Pause. So I'm like, okay, cool. I already know what I'm gonna get, and they have a nice blue lemonade that they selling too. So I'm like, ooh, it's finna be fire. All right, man. The irony. I don't think that's ironic. I don't think there's any irony in this situation, but it's just funny. What is going on, man? What is going on? One thing about my pops, he be like he be so corny sometimes, and I just don't like when he do that, cause I just be like, bro, there's a way you could go about like asking someone to do something, and then there's a way about you could go about like demanding it. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, just stop what you're doing and do something for me. You, dang. So I guess my pops, right? Y'all know my dad. He just Mr. Multitasking. He got a whip right now, and it's parked outside, and it's parked in front of somebody's house. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, cool. He's like, yeah, could you move it and park it in front of our house? And I'm like, well, I'm doing something right now. I'll do it later. And he's like, what are you doing right now that you can't do it right now? And I'm like, damn, I can't finish what I'm doing. Like, man, I'm low-key cooking right now with the podcast. You know what I'm saying? I already don't be that good with the editing, you feel me, y'all? So I ain't gonna lie. I really don't like having to stop in the middle of the pod, cut the video. It's just be doing too much. So it's just like, come on, Pops. Can I just do it later? Like, he acting like where the car is at is a problem, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it is. I don't know. But like I said, why'd you have it parked there in the first place? You feel me? So. I'm probably gonna get yelled at, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. I'm just saying. I'm just giving a heads up because that's gonna be so interesting to talk about next week's pod. Like, the results of what happened just from this phone call. Because me and my dad would be in a good place right now, but it'd be so quick for him to get upset with me, bro. Let me not say it'd be so quick for him to get upset with me. It's quick for me to push him to that side if I don't, do his request. But sometimes it's one of those things where it's like, I think it's like just a parent to child thing. Like, he probably look at what I have going on, like, man, what you're doing is not that important to what I have to ask you to request. And I'm just like, as the son that's trying to make the content, I'm just like, dang, Pop, I'm just trying to record my podcast real quick, Dad. Like, on me, ain't no thing, you know what I'm saying? Just let me finish my issue, you feel me? Like, on me, I ain't gonna lie. It is. He probably, like I said, I'm just, like I said, as a psychology major and knowing my dad, how I know my dad, I can already see it now. Man, I already see the future of what's gonna happen. So I might as well continue to have this conversation. I might as well make this a good pod. You feel me? I might as well make this a good fucking podcast. So yeah. So after I basically, like I said, I'm seeing the Power Rangers basically. I'm like, all right. Hey, if I know my order, I'm assuming everybody that didn't be waiting this hour, an hour long plus, should also know their order or how much they freaking want to order. But that's what I'm saying. Maybe we just all thought we could only get one burger each or something because it was just funny. So the Power Rangers, they order, and as soon as Mariah's basically about to order, and she basically already orders, it's time for her to pay, and for some reason it declines. My good sis don't ever decline, but for some reason the machine kind of said decline, but on her end it said it went through. So they're trying to figure it out. That small moment they're trying to figure it out, the Pink Ranger basically kind of steps in and is like, oh hey, could I order an extra burger? And I'm just like, are you serious? Like, in reality, we really supposed to tell you to go back of the line, but we really trying to do you justice, And man, and it just sucks because I know Mariah is like, girl, I'm not saying yes. You're not ordering in front of me. I'm ordering my food and you can do whatever. But I feel like it was just one of the things where I was just like, dang, of course I gotta let you order in front of me because if I don't, I'm gonna be an asshole. So she orders she honestly don't really even acknowledge me for real. She kind of just once Mariah orders, she kind of just okay, I want to order another burger. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. So I order my food. I'm like, well, I see I can order more. I'm like, shit, I ordered a meal and a burger by itself. That's what it was, because I thought you had to order a meal. So she was like, no, you can just order a burger by itself. I was like, oh, wow. Well, I ordered a meal and a burger. You feel me? Might as well. Take one to go. So I'm like, bet. So I ordered that, and, I ain't gonna lie, I guess this is where the chaos ensued, because the issue was, basically everybody getting the same thing. The issue is who's really getting the order, and are they getting the right order? Because I think the issue was niggas started getting burgers, and it wasn't confirming it was their burger, but because they're all the same burgers, no burger's really wrong, but it's you might have got a burger, you might have been 8, and you might have got number 2's burger, you feel me, type shit. So that was the issue that we kind of ran into, and then you might have just got your burger done wrong. So for me, I don't think my shit was incorrect. I think the issue was they might have just gave my food to someone else earlier than me. So I just had, like I said, just no pickles on mine. So once they just confirmed that, they basically gave me my shit. I got my lemonade, and Mariah got hers. I don't think there was no issue getting that. They had some ranch and barbecue on the table to the side, which was so random, but it was just a blessing. Clutch. Got that, put that in our bags, and we left. Naturally, as a real nigga I am, walked my good sis to her car. And I was finna walk off. I don't really be trying to ask nobody for nothing. And she was like, nigga, if you don't get in this car, let me give you a ride to your car. And I thought that was so funny because I was like, you're right. I should have just asked. So she drops me off in my car, and then I drive home. And then, I get home, I shower, you feel me? Basically, recoup, after the run. And then, I eat my food, you feel me, and shit. And then I try to take a nap before work. And as usual, it's the worst decision I can ever make because once I took that nap, I did not want to get the fuck up, bro. Dang, bro. Even tonight, me going out, sometimes I be like, bro, can I get a nap before I go at least? Dang, bro. Days, I just be like, that's why, and that's why, honestly, That's what my dad, he be thinking I don't be trying to listen to him and shit. I'm always gonna listen to my pops. I'm just like, nigga, you strong as fuck, bro. Like, you be up. You don't be taking no breaks. So I be feeling like a punk sometimes. Sometimes I be feeling like a punk a lot of times. Like, I'm a bitch. I ain't gonna lie. Because I be tired. My dad don't get tired. I be like, fuck, man. I got tired again. Damn. But I don't know how niggas do it, bruh. I know how niggas do it. Be up all day. And they be, like I said, this be before the landscaping. So I'm not gonna blame it on the landscaping. You know, put it all on that. But this be before the landscaping. I be like, I could use a nap. Like, after I work out, I be like, I could use a good little, preferably a 2-hour one, but I just be going off the 1 hour, you know. But I'm like, is that a problem? I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'm just trying to recuperate, and then it's because, you know, I'm eating. You know, my body's trying to digest the food too. So it's one thing after another. Like I said, I'm just telling you how it is. I ain't really making no excuses for myself, but it was just something that I noticed. Like I said, because after I finished that run, I came home and ate that food, took that nap, did not want to get up. And it kind of did play a part because, I ended up getting up late for work. First time, like I said, nigga just got the job and already on the 4th day, going to work late. I felt like such a head ass. But, you know, my boss didn't he didn't fuss me about it. He didn't get on my head about it. So I was cool. You know, we still had a good shift. You know what I'm saying? Did my thing, got off, and then, you know what I'm saying? Made it home, you feel me? And then nothing too crazy. And then the only crazy part about this shift was, like I said, I had got the marathon burger and I ate one burger at home. But something told me, I said, just leave the other burger at the house. I don't know why, but I decided to do so. And when I went to work, I was like, you know what? Let me try this place that's near my job. I feel like if I say the food spot is gonna, like, you know, of course, give my area of work away, so I'm not gonna say this food spot name, but it's a fish market. So I decided to get something from this fish market, and it was just so weird, you know. I didn't expect nothing bad to happen or nothing, you feel me? But I kid you not, and that's what I'm saying. I know it couldn't have been a marathon burger. There's no way. But if it was, I don't know which one it was. Either way, right? I ate that freaking fish food, whatever it was. The fish, for one, was bland, no flavor. French fries, terrible. I did the macaroni salad. For one, the size was kind of weak. The size, it only had fries, macaroni salad, and like some other BS. Like I said, I'm not gonna sit here and like diss them too crazy, but essentially, I got the fries and the macaroni salad, a 3-piece fish, and a 10-piece shrimp. Came out like $18. So I'm over here, like, I'm kind of happy because I'm like, okay, this place is close to the job and it's a good price. Like, I might fuck with this place. You know what I'm saying? Worst thing I could have ever did, bruh. I'm talking about, and you know, and that's what I'm saying. I try not to judge places by the cover, but the ambiance of the place already gives that it's like, ugh, this might not be the freshest fish, boy. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't trying to say the fish was like rancid, or I ain't trying to say it was like spoiled. I ain't trying to say that, but this might not be the freshest fish, boy. So essentially, I got the tilapia. You know what I'm saying? I usually do tilapia or catfish. I'm not too big on fish, but those are the two fishes that I'm familiar with. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my mom. So I get that. I get the tilapia and I get the shrimp. I'm talking about as soon as I took a bite of tilapia, I was like nothing. Like, y'all ain't even like put a little bit of salt and pepper. Like, that shit was like just straight fried fish. I was just kind of like disappointed. And I ate the fry kind of dry. Macaroni salad kind of tastes a little sour. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really too big on mayonnaise anyway. So for me, I feel like mayonnaise, the funniest thing to me, maybe it's because I've experienced it. I think mayonnaise is the only thing that like kind of tastes the same when it's spoiled and when it's fresh. Do you guys relate? Does anybody like know what I'm saying? Like, has anybody ever really tasted like mayonnaise? Like, has anybody ever accidentally ate mayonnaise spoiled? It's like dang near tasting the same thing sometimes. Like, if you don't really think about it. Well, I guess you have to think about it, but I'm just saying, like, I'm not crazy. I know what I'm talking about. Essentially what I'm saying is, it kind of gave that, you know what I'm saying, a little bit, so it triggered me. And I'm very picky. So as a picky person, once something triggers my disgusting meter, even the slightest, I'm already turned off. So I'm like, oh yeah, 0 out of 5 on the macaroni salad, and that's what it was. The macaroni salad had corn in it. Who puts corn in a macaroni salad? Like, I love corn, but corn in a macaroni salad, like, it's already a kind of a lot going on in here. Like, what the corn doing? You know what I'm saying? So I was like, ugh, I was not really fucking with it, bro. So I didn't really like it. And maybe that was God doing me a favor because, like I said, the story continues. I continue trying to eat the fish. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm trying to use as much hot sauce, as much, like, tartar sauce, like something to just give it some type of taste. Tartar sauce is cool. French fries, like I said, they like steak fries, so they kind of like dry, so they kind of just whatever, you know what I'm saying? Keep it a buck. Disappointed after disappointed. Then out of nowhere, I ate the shrimp, and the shrimp is kind of decent. So I was just disappointed because I'm just like, what did y'all put on the shrimp that y'all couldn't put on the fish? Like, I didn't get it. So the shrimp was kind of decent, but I couldn't finish it because, like I said, it was kind of just like, ugh. I wasn't gonna lie. I was just struggling to really eat the whole thing. Pause. So, after I put it to go, you know what I'm saying, I basically take it home. But like I said, at work, I kid you not, it was either at work. It was either at work or at home. My next bowel movement was a shitty experience. I would just put it like that. Like, y'all know me. I work out pretty often, so like my system is pretty efficient. So usually what I eat goes where it needs to go, and it goes where it needs to go the proper way. I feel like when it's a little bit too TMI, when it's a little bit too H2O-y, you know what I'm saying? I think that's a problem, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, yo, what did I eat? You know what I'm saying? Because usually what I eat be more consistent, you feel me? Just for lack of better words. So when it wasn't consistent, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, nah. So I wasn't really fucking with it. So this fish market, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to make sure I take it out because sometimes when I do my bio for my my bio for my episodes, I had some of this. When I do my bio, I don't want to accidentally put the name in there, you know? So yeah, that was like the highlight of my day because, like I said, it made me go to the restroom, and I did not like it because, like I said, if it made me go to the restroom at home, I can handle it. I think the issue was that it made me go to the restroom at work, and like I said, like so quickly after, you know, I ate it. So I was like, yo, I'm not fucking with that. So, you know, that was my Friday. You feel me? But on Saturday, I woke up around like 9 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Or I was kind of already awake, but I kind of like didn't really start my day till like 9. So then after 9, you know what I'm saying, did my thing, and then So, I still hadn't had recorded the podcast at this point. You know what I'm saying? I was just kind of like, I kept like, I don't know what it was. I think like I said, I just know myself. So when I just didn't get enough sleep, my body was just trying to catch up to it, and I just never caught up to it. So because of that, waking up early was just out the picture this whole week. So every chance that I had to wake up early and record the pod, I just was never taking it. You know, I was just like putting my sleep over it. Just as I was just like, you know what, hey, a nigga just started working anyway. You feel me? Like, you know, I love y'all. I was just like, hey, they'll understand. You feel me? They'll give me grace. You feel me? Like, just let me get used to it again. You feel me? Because I ain't gonna lie, a month of no work and no school, no having to wake up early, that shit did a number on your boy. Like, my sense of this like timing, I guess, it's back, of course, now, you know, because I feel like now it's just really just like I said, if I really want to, as you guys can see, this is a Friday instead of me doing it on the freaking like Saturday and a Monday, because the last episode I had to split in 2 parts, but this time I'm able to, you know, I could probably start recording on Friday, so I could, you know, drop it today. But yeah, I just, like I said, yesterday, I'll tell you guys about that later on when I get to Thursday. But yeah, it was just a good day. You feel me? But overall, like I said, last week it was just one of those weeks I was just like, yeah, it's kind of hard for me to wake up. And I wasn't going to wake up and give you guys a BS episode, so I was just like, I'll just record it later. But I did at least get the topic list together. But I started it around 10 o'clock, you know, and then I finished like half of it at like 12, and then I had to, like I said, head to work. So went to work, did my shift, and then like I said, it's Thursday, so or no, it's not Thursday. I'm looking at something I wrote here. Excuse me, y'all. It's Saturday, so like I said, it's like 10 something. Done for, so I go home, you know what I'm saying? Basically fall asleep for the rest of the night, you know? So like I even say on the freaking recap, like, could have did it, but was too tired, but at least I started it, so I was, at least proud of myself for that, you know? After work, you know what I'm saying? Nothing too crazy. And then, basically just got ready to go for Sunday. So Sunday, well, it was Father's Day, so happy Father's Day. The irony of that, because me and my dad was just on the phone with each other, and he was just, telling me to do something. I didn't do it, but Father's Day already passed, Dad. I could say no now, looking ass. On Father's Day, I woke up around like 9 something. Ain't gonna lie, I didn't get my pops a gift, but it's just only cause, like I said, your boy ain't been really working, so my money ain't been really long enough for me to like really, get nobody nothing gift yet. But I kind of underestimated, I guess, my pop's reaction to it because he was tripping. I ain't gonna lie, I told you guys how my mom was tripping on Mother's Day too. They usually be like kind of indifferent about gifts or even celebrating it, so I kind of thought I could like skip this holiday and like be cool. Both of them was tripping. I was like, dang, he was tripping on his birthday and this freaking Father's Day. But granted, I probably should have got something on his birthday. That makes more sense. But I ain't getting anything for him on Father's Day, besides the Father's Day, you feel me? Because I am his gift, at the end of the day. You feel me? I just graduated. That's your gift, Dad. No cap. So basically, didn't do much. I basically just went to work, you feel me? And then, got off and then I just came home, So then it was just a simple shift. I didn't, honestly, like I said, just didn't feel like recording, I guess. Because I don't know why I didn't record the podcast on this Sunday. But let me see. I want to say, yeah, I just ate my food, you feel me? Just, went to sleep, you feel me? This boy Caduce was not on it that week. But on Monday, I woke up at 7:40, got my day started, you know what I'm saying? Went to the gym, worked out with my homie, worked out with the homie Honcho. Big shout out to Nick Honcho. I was off on Monday, so way more comfortable, way more time, way more freedom. So basically got home after the workout and I finished episode 50. Uploaded it, but that shit took a long ass time to upload. Like I thought that shit was gonna be I thought I was gonna be able to do a little bit more that day. Boy, when I say I was just like just being in the house, just kind of like just waiting for the computer to export it, do all this other stuff, was just like just an all day process. I ain't gonna lie, because I couldn't really go anywhere, you know what I'm saying? But I essentially really just, like I said, just went to the gym with Honcho, came home, finished the podcast, ate some plantain and rice, been eating that all week, and then played some GTA, and then I got some Tev's Kitchen burger to end the night. So I went to Storm Burger, and I got the one by Tev's Kitchen again. That shit, hey, it's a banger. But it's so funny because this night that I went, is as if they didn't want to sell it to me, because when I got there, the employee would have to he kind of asked on the radio, was like, oh, do we have any? And he kind of like let me know yeah, because we only got 2 left. I want to see this one.
What are you doing?
I'm recording. I told you I wasn't capping. But I told you, I said I was going to do it later. It's not like I just said I wasn't going to do it. I just was going to do it later, That was my dad, y'all. Shout out to my dad, you guys. There's no cap in my rap. But nah. So, essentially, yeah. Fuck, man. And then... Okay, cool. But then I got there and they were like, oh yeah, he had to check in, and then once again I said no pickles, and guess what? They still put pickles. But the best part about this time was something just told me to check it, and I checked, and right before I even because I already took a bite, I was just so confident, I believed in them again, I guess. I just took a bite without thinking, and I checked, and it was some pickles, 3 of them bitches. So I feel like this time around. It was done on purpose. I think this time around was the nigga. I think the person who probably wanted to have the burger probably was the chef, and he probably was like, okay, so this nigga want to fucking take the last burger I wanted this motherfucker. I'm finna put some pickles. You don't want no pickles? Well, fuck this nigga. I'm finna put pickles. I just hope he didn't spit on my shit, bro. God forbid. You know what I'm saying? But nah, essentially, you feel me? I got my food. And this time I updated it and I got the onion rings. So I just got the burger by itself, the onion rings by itself, because they couldn't do a menu change, I guess. Whatever that means. You know me, I don't be trying to argue with these niggas. But I got that shit and I took that to go. Ate it at home. It was fire, yeah. So on Tuesday, I made the dumb decision to try to go to Disney because I thought, while I have the free time and while it's kind of like early, before I get like super duper locked into this job and I don't have no time to go, let me go, because overall I just thought, me having the chance to go in the summer, it would just be emptier. And that Monday when I was checking the app, it was super duper empty. So it just gave me false hope for this Tuesday, and that false hope was real because essentially I woke up early, around 6, and then got ready, did my thing. I did a at-home workout because I didn't wake up early enough to go to the gym, but I pretty much was on the way there. Got there like 8:40, and then did my thing, and then I kind of was like did like 4 rides. I did store tours, space tours, Buzz Lightyear, Nemo, and then I got some cheese pizza. And I ain't gonna lie, that weather was whooping my ass. The heat was hitting. The lines for the ride that I wanted to go for, or the rides that I wanted to go on, they closed down. Matterhorn closed down. Indiana Jones closed down. So I'm like, California is, or I guess Disney at this point, I'm like, it's a dub. So I'm like, what the fuck? Alright. You know what I mean? So I basically was just like, I'm finna just leave with my dignity, because I was just like, hey, it low-key was low-key like a burnt mission. The thing about me, I'd be trying to get my passport, but Disney just one of the places that just always, it's just a hassle. So that's when like, I already kind of just put it to my head that like, yeah, I'm gonna just let me naturally miss it, or maybe when Tiani come back out here, I'll go again, but I ain't gonna try to force myself to go again, because trying to go there to try to be on some shit like, oh, go while it's empty, take advantage of the rides, there's just be so many other factors that play a part. I'd just be like, why did I even come? Like I said, I just keep it because it's cheaper than having to buy a ticket. And hey, I promise you, that shit'll hit you. So now, basically on the way home, I pretty much before I left, in Anaheim, they have some good Korean places, so I decided to get some Korean hot dogs. There's a place called, I don't know what it's called, Mayu Ring, Side, Mayu Ring, Mayung Ring hot dog. It's literally like that. Myung, MYUNGRANG hot dog. Myung Rang hot dog. Right? That's what I'm saying. I'm not right, because I'm like Myung Rang hot dog. Y'all not finna make me feel like I don't know how to read. But yeah, I got that. Got some Korean hot dogs. Korean hot dogs are fire. There's gonna be some potato dogs and some cheese and potato dogs and some sausage dogs. And probably not gonna ever do that again with them, because that shit was like cutting the fuck out of my mouth, bro. It was just pause. Like, it was just difficult to like maneuver and like, eat, because I was just like, dang, this is more pain than like enjoyment. But it was really good, so it sucked. So it's just like, dang, next time I'm not gonna do the because it's kind of like a French fry hot dog version. So they have like one that looks like a regular corn dog, and then they have one that looks like a French fry corn dog. The French fry corn dog usually, honestly speaking, now that I think about it, I think I run into this problem every time I get the French fry hot dog. So I think this time around I learned my lesson, and I'm just gonna get regular Korean corn dogs, because trying to do the potato with the French fry, all that extra shit, it's just too much, because I end up having to like break it, eat it like kind of like a kebab, and it's just a messy process that I feel like I could avoid altogether if I just don't get those type of corn dogs. You feel me? So I know better now. So yeah, I got that, and I basically was on the phone with Adrian on the way to the house, during this time. And it was coincidental because
I had already kind of planned to be at Disney up until this time anyway, because I was like, I'm gonna just be there till like 4. You know, I was like, what's an 8-hour shift? 8 to 4. So I was like, if I get there at 8 when they open, I could leave at 4. That'll be a good amount of time. 8 hours at Disney, that's reasonable. You feel me? Because in reality, I can stay there the whole day. If I really want to get that's what I'm saying. Like for me, that's what I'm saying. Like I like to go when I'm off because I could really like take advantage. You know, saying I'll get to skip the line and I really plan how to go through. I know like I speed run the shit, so I know which one to do. Universal, it sucks because it's like there's only such a handful of rides at Universal, so it's like you can only speed run that thing so many times a year without getting tired of it. Like I said, the studio tour, I love it, so I can always go on that one any time of the year. But the rest of the place, I just be like, Mummy and Transformers, okay, I could do. Mario, I could do. Jurassic, I could do if I feel like getting wet. Pause. That's what I'm saying. Man, speaking of shit, I'm gonna get to Thursday, but that's what I'm saying. Universal, I know when I go to Universal, I know when I go to Universal. When I go to Disney, and that's what I'm saying. I need to start planning how I plan my Universal days. That's how I need to start planning my Disney days. I need to stop doing them so like spontaneously. That's really the issue. I need to be more calculated. Because like I said, the issue is I see the app, I see the wait times, and I just assume that okay, this is gonna be I don't know. I just like I said, I'll be like it's gonna be a breeze. I'm gonna be able to get through these lines like nothing. But I'm gonna be taking into account the weather, the drive there, the traffic, all that good jazz. That'd be what be stopping me from Universal, because that traffic, Hollywood, boy, good luck. So so yeah, I just heard them say my name, so my bad, y'all was listening. Sorry, but so let me see, cause I'm like, let me see if I did anything crazy. But yeah, I mean, exactly. I just ended the night playing some GTA. You feel me? Good Tuesday. You feel me? Great off day, to be honest. Like regardless of all the shit I'm talking, it was still a great off day. You feel me? But then on Wednesday, what I'm saying? I woke up at like 7:10. You know what I'm saying? Did my thing, made my draft the TikTok for the day, and then I got ready for work. On Wednesday, I was supposed to go to the gym before work, but because of the day I had before, I was like, waking up at 4 a.m. not in the picture. But I actually could have. So this time around, I could have woke up early, but I just decided not to, because I was just like, get the extra sleep, go after work, And man, every time, man, Planet Fitness go always prove it to you that you should go early, bro. Even if you're tired. That's what I feel like Planet Fitness always just shows me. Like, even if I'm tired, it's way better to go in the morning than to go in the afternoon. Boy. So, basically did my thing, got my workout clothes, so that way I could basically go from work and, like, literally from leave work and head straight to the gym. You feel me? So, I made it to work, did my shift, you know what I'm saying? After work, changed into my, workout clothes, switched into it, perfect. And I headed to the gym. I didn't know what day it was going to be. I didn't know it was going to be an upper body day or it was going to be a lower body day. But I was just like, I'll just see what machines are open and I'll just go like that. I got blessed enough to where my main chest machines was open, but like the bench press wasn't open, the butterfly press wasn't open. Like, at least I was able to do a run. So basically, I'll give you guys a rundown of my workout. I went in there, I did 10 minutes on a treadmill. Then I did 5 sets of push-ups, pull-ups, and dips. Did that. And then I went straight into some ab twist, Then after that, I did some chest press with the weights. And then after that, I did some, tricep press. After that, I did a tricep pull down with a long bar. After that, I did a forearm workout where I basically worked out the top of my forearm and the bottom of my forearm. And then I did a straight up curl, or I guess you can just say shoulder press. And then after that, I felt like, man, like I thought that was going to be enough time. I thought that was going to be already to an hour, but I still had like 7 minutes. I was like, bro, this gym is so busy. Like, when the gym is busy, it just be so it just be, you know what the girls say, it be too overstimulating. So I was like, nah, I gotta get up out of here, fool. So I just wrapped it up with a 2-minute plank. That shit was killer, especially because all the workouts I did with my arm, and then to like now have to stand up, use my arm to like hold myself up. I know my forearm hated me that day. Did my 2-minute plank, got up out of there, recorded a video in the bathroom, went to the car. You know, man, after a good workout, it just be, your body just be done for. Like I said, I don't do no pre-workout, I don't do nothing. So all I do is just chlorophyll water. So this is all natural. So I'm just like, dang, I'm done for. So essentially, I just basically landscape in the car real quick, and then go. I switch it up on them. You know, big shout out to Tiani because she knows me. I don't really be fucking with the Jamba Juice. That should be too expensive for me. But I actually go to Jamba Juice. I get me a banana berry medium, and I get a waffle, and it came out to $13. So I said, if Jamba Juice with the waffle is $13, that's reasonable. You know, that's reasonable. I can fuck with that. But it was just one time I felt like I seen the Jamba Juice drink, and the Jamba Juice itself for a medium was just $13, and I was like, yeah, I cannot get jiggy with that shit. So that was just weird that day. But nah, so I got my Jamba Juice, and I got a waffle, and then I basically headed home, you know what I'm saying? And then, yeah, you know, like I said, the podcast is already uploaded at this point, so it's a new week, you feel me? So, you know what I'm saying? And after that, I ain't gonna lie, I still was hungry, so I ate some plantain and rice. So I just been eating rice and stew all week. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. But then Thursday comes around. So Thursday, if you guys do not know, GTA 6 is now available for pre-order. It actually became available for pre-order on Thursday on the 25th. So I wonder why the 25th. But yeah, I decided to, of course, purchase it. I got the Ultimate Edition, the $99 one. I didn't want to, but it's just too much shit that they say is going to be behind that version that's not going to be by the other version that is like, I might as well get it. And of course, to my knowledge, GTA Online is still going to be a separate entity from that. So we're going to see how that goes, I guess, you know. Hopefully I get some benefits still because, like I said, I'm already a GTA Plus member. I'm proud to say that. I'm proud to say it. I get my 500,000 every month. I'm proud to say that shit. You feel me? But yeah, got pre-ordered my GTA 6. You know, got ready for work, got the food ready, and then I got my workout clothes because I know I was going to the run later. So I made it to work. I did a 9 to 6, did my shift, and then after work, immediately changed into my running clothes, and then I went to the run. Did a good run, had a great time. After the run, I got some Panda Express, you feel me? And like I said, it's Thursday, so technically speaking, I should have been recording a podcast, but it was just such a productive day, like in just life, that like I just didn't have the energy for it. So came home, tore that Panda Express up, you feel me? I ain't gonna lie. You know what, I'm gonna be honest. I actually was going to still record the podcast because I had ample time. By the time I got home, it was like 9:40. Like I still had enough time to for sure record the podcast. It's just an opportunity came up that had me thinking that I was going to end up doing something else. So I didn't want to even start the podcast because I didn't want to have to leave in the middle of it because, like I said, I don't like doing that shit. So I was just like, you know what, I'm going to just record this tomorrow because the opportunity just seemed way too golden. So, you know, essentially the opportunity got postponed. So I was like, oh, fuck, I done postponed this podcast and the opportunity got postponed. So yeah, I thought that was just kind of funny. But, you know, essentially, yeah, you know, basically just didn't record, but I basically just still had a great day, you know. And then as far as the run, you know, because like I said, I still ran that day. And then my run at the gym, that 10-minute run, I did like a 7-minute 43 pace. It was like 1.52 miles, so that was 11 minutes. And then my run yesterday was 3 miles at 8 minutes and 39. 8 minutes 39 second pace, so a 26-minute run. So, you know, really good, especially because, like, I don't know if you guys know, if you guys been listening to my podcast consistently, you'll know that my knee's been hurting me. Man, for this knee to be in the pain that it's in, I was just really happy to be able to run the way I did. So I was just really grateful, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, so nah, you feel me? Like I said, pretty much after that, I just went to bed because, like I said, the opportunity had me basically up to like 11. So it was basically like, okay, well, no point in being up no more, you know? But that's essentially my weekly recap right there. So great week. You know what I'm saying? Very productive. You know, still worked out. Didn't do all my weekly goals because, like I said, I want to ride my bike and stuff. But I know for next week I'll be much more prepared because, like I said, I'm getting back into the groove of things and getting back to just understanding my schedule better. So, you know, don't worry, y'all. So the movies that came out that I didn't see were Toy Story 5, Leviticus, and then The Death of Robin Hood. From what I heard, I actually didn't see any review on Toy Story 5, so I can't really give you guys a, rundown on that, on what, like, I heard about it. But I know they introduced the tablet, so I thought, of course, I'm pretty sure that was interesting. But Leviticus, I just thought it was going to be kind of just, like I said, you know me, y'all. That's just not my type of content to be really indulging in. So I don't think I could have, even for the movie. I think it was just like I don't think even for the review I could have did it, And I kind of am glad because my favorite movie reviewers reviewed it, and they happen to be on that side. So nothing bothered them watching it or something or nothing. So they were just saying, and not. Like I said, it wouldn't bother me. It would just be certain things that I just feel like would be like, oh, I don't need to see that. Like, and then even one of the scenes they mentioned was in a movie kind of gave that. So I was like, okay, I'm kind of glad I didn't see that movie. You feel me? So I feel like I made the right choice ultimately. But, yeah, it was just, like I said, Leviticus was about these two high schoolers, and they happen to be intimate and, basically get caught being intimate, and then because they live in a Christian society, they try to like basically get rid of the Christian demon. Like how I took it as from just outside looking at it, I thought this movie like trying to like basically say like being gay is like a demon or something, because that's what it was given. You feel me? But I don't know. I just thought that was interesting. You feel me? So especially during Pride Month. You feel me? But that was Leviticus, and then they didn't really, care for it either, so that kind of let me know. But they also seen Death of Robin Hood, and they said that one was kind of cool. I don't really know too much about Robin Hood, and I fuck with Hugh Jackman, but that didn't really seem like my alley. And like I said, my schedule was just so packed. It was like workout or go see a movie. What do you think I chose? I'm gonna go work out every time. You feel me? Because I just feel like I can make better content off the workout than I can off the movie. Especially because, like I said, the worst, I hate going to see a movie and it don't be good, and I just wasted my time. My time is precious. So that was the movies that came out this week. But let's get into some of these Instagram topics, because it wasn't too much on Instagram that I've seen. It's always so weird. I always feel like I always find Instagram topics on Thursday, so I always try to wait, and see stuff. But I found something today that I thought was kind of like interesting. So this reality star turned influencer Megan James, she calls out a marketing agency because she alleges racism in the influencer marketing. So she basically tells a story about how like she is an influencer marketer, and like she basically was like tasked with like trying to get like other people to do it, and like during her experience doing it, they basically had shared her a document basically showing all the people that they had applied, and like unbeknownst to them, she applied for it too, not unbeknownst to them, but unbeknownst to them, the comments, or I guess you could say like the notes that they took on the people that applied happened to be available to her to view. So she views it, and she basically puts it translate, because it's not in English, it's like in Russian. That's what she says. I'm gonna play the clip, but she does it, and then like essentially once she does that, she sees that like all the people that were labeled black were basically given like were already told no, and all the people that were white were like given like a yes. And I just thought it was so interesting, because I was like, I was just talking to my nigga, and I thought it was interesting personally, not because of nothing like that happened in the media or nothing. I just found it personally interesting because I was just talking to my nigga Donovan, because he recently just got banned on TikTok, or I don't know if he got banned, or basically I think he got banned because basically for being black, because like I said, on TikTok as a black person, for some reason I can't say the word N-word, I can't say the word nigga. When I put nigga on TikTok, they be like there was a time where I was on low-key like on almost on my third strike, because I kept saying, dang, a nigga doing too much, a nigga doing this, a nigga being funny, damn, a nigga can't have a little bit of taste. And then I would get like reported, and I'd be like, what's going on,
and then it'll be like, oh, because of this comment, it'll be me saying the N word. I'm like, but I'm black, and I would try to like, appeal it, but none of my appeals went through. So I just stopped saying the N word altogether because I was like, yeah, you guys not finna delete my account, because I just felt like I put a lot of work into it. But my twin, shout out to my nigga Donovan. He, I guess, I don't think he was saying the N word still, but I think basically just he's a little vulgar. I'm gonna just put it like that because he makes like MMA content, but it's like I said, I'm gonna just be honest, like it's more adult jokes. You feel me?
It's on like the Family Guy type jokes, like that nigga recent video I just said, like he just had, it was like, I just call it, always say what it is. It's like life is like a dick. Sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's soft, and then like etc. etc. So like if you're not into that type of humor, it's a little bit much. But I mean I don't think it's that bad, compared to the type of humor there is in fucking America. But I guess the TikTok, like I said, when you're a black man and you're a small content creator, you don't have much wiggle room to like fuck up on there. I'm just call it spade a spade. So my nigga, he got, banned on there, and I just basically thought it was interesting because prior to that, I think he was talking, or me and him were talking about is like the viewership on there, and I was just something, I was like, yeah, bro, I told you I'm showing shit up. I'm like, hey, not even to toot my own horn, but I be feeling like I make some good content. So I'm like, hey, I've been on TikTok for a minute, and my shit be barely getting views. So I just think TikTok just be knowing who they want to platform and who they don't, and it's one of those things where it's like I said, for me personally, around COVID, because I'm like, whenever TikTok came and TikTok was about to get banned and whatever, I just remembered like the reason I wasn't really on there was because I already kind of like just accepted that like I don't, no offense, not to say I don't believe in myself, but I was like, I'm not gonna blow up on here. These niggas do not fuck with black people. Like I just already kind of like just deemed that, and kind of could just tell. So my issue wasn't like making videos on there, it was just like whether or not I was gonna get views. So I already came to that conclusion. So I just thought it was just interesting because, like I said, me just even being on there is just really just like, I just use the platform just to be like, hey, it's good to make videos on here. And it just, for me, like I said, I was just on my challenge of just, I want to make a video every day, for a year. And I completed the challenge, but I'm just on the shit where I might as well keep going. I got all these videos in my camera roll. I got to make. Saying I might as well, and then once I run out of videos, then I'll just start making more fresh, up-to-date, current content and shit. But as it is right now, I got a lot of shit. But like I said, I just said that to say that I agree with her before she even said this. Is my shit not here? You guys can't, what's wrong? Like, it's just a 2 or 4 cars? That's what I'm saying. Nobody, like, R5's there. And that. Because that's what I'm saying. You guys, I don't know why you guys want to do it right now. Know. But why you guys want to do it right now? Why can't we do it later? Okay, and Polo was not going to be okay with us leaving a car right there?
Kudus. How many minutes have I switch?
This is just, you guys just be choosing the bad time, man. Because I'm like, what if I wasn't here? What if I wasn't here? You guys would have to do it. Because I'm like, man. I didn't tell him to put the car there.
For years, but I never thought I would see it with my own 2 eyes until I literally gained access to an internal casting document that I was never supposed to see. A lot of you may not know that I work in influencer marketing. I was asked by a marketing agency called Holly Marketing to source creators for a campaign with a brand called Piranha Mat. My job was simple. It was to find creators within my agency who were a good fit for this campaign and send over the recommendations. Before sourcing creators for brand campaigns, I always ask the brand, what are the requirements? Nowhere on the requirements does it say that the creators must be white. As I'm going through the casting document, I noticed that there are internal comments next to the creators' names. At first, I didn't really think much of it, but I'm a creator myself, and I pitched myself for this campaign, and I saw a word written in Russian next to my name. Y'all know I'm Inspector Gadget, so I screenshotted all of the comments on the document and put it in ChatGPT. The notation next to my name said black, and another notation said no, black, low views. Every comment and reference of a creator that was white had something to do with their analytics. Every comment that was in reference of a creator that was non-white had to do with their ethnicity or race. I'm sharing this because I believe that it's wrong and I accidentally saw these comments, but imagine how many creators never get to see what happens behind the scenes. After calling the brand out for this, they did follow up with a fake apology email, which I have attached to the end of this video for you guys to see. And this is just really sad. Do better. Racism and
But
influencer
yeah,
marketing. Follow up with a fake apology email.
guys, I gotta go do something real quick because they clearly are not gonna stop doing it till we get. For the listeners, just so you guys can have an idea in like this amount of time that took me to do. It says 1 hour and 18 minutes right now, right, y'all? On the computer, it says 1 hour and 53 minutes. That took me 35 minutes to do, and I didn't even complete the task. Guys, I was not productive whatsoever. Guess what? It wasn't my fault. My dad said, "Hey guys, oh, and now look, the beats, my headset didn't die, so now it's not been talking the way it needs to talk." I took so long, I had to freaking reconnect to the freaking phone. So guess what, guys? Left, did all that, and for what? Wasn't even successful. My dad said, "Hey guys, please go move the car for me." The car is not even working, y'all. The cars don't even have power. I got in that car. The car already looked like it needed to be towed before it could move anyway. I get in that car and I try to move it. Boy, that car didn't even start. I was just so annoyed because me and my mom, we just argued about it. Me and Arafat, we argued about it. My dad was over here pressing me on the phone about it, talking about what you doing. And someone said, "Man, I'll do it later, man." Like, but then I was like, if my parents ask me to do something, just do it, get it out the way. It'd probably be more beneficial for me anyway. Then I could be done with it. Just for me to get out there 35 minutes later and the car don't start. And I had to move my car and everything. So now I'm just hurt. And then now, my dad don't want to answer the phone. So now we just all looking at him like, so you put us in this situation that you don't answer the phone when we try to call you to like actually like, hey, did you know that the car don't start? Because if you did and you didn't tell us, it's pretty messed up. You could have gave niggas a heads up. You couldn't give us a heads up. It's like, damn. I see that's how you feel, pops. See, that's how you feel. But yeah, we get into some Twitter topics. And then we pretty much wrapped up over here. So, physical copies of GTA 6 would include digital codes. There would be no disc available. That apparently has been disproven. Allegedly, it's going to be disc dropping after GTA drops. So GTA is supposed to drop November 18th, and they're supposed to drop the disc after that to avoid leaks, quote unquote. And then, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That shit just messed up my whole momentum. You feel me? But like I said, y'all, it's been a small week anyway, so it's all good. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's a little shorter. But once I start watching my movies again, which like I said I'm gonna do this week, we're gonna get back into the more in-depth episode. So I appreciate you guys for listening. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. This has been episode 51 of STAYDOWNLA PODCAST, and I'm out of here. Peace.